Okie dokie, looks like we are ready to go. Come one, come all. Just doing a little live stream, so anybody has any questions, feel free to shoot them at me, and if not, I'll just kind of hang out until someone comes along. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to coding view and chat view. And let me know if you have any sound problems. This is kind of the second time I've done this, I think. So I'm still kind of getting used to how it works. And if anybody's curious, I'm currently running Ubuntu Linux. But one of the nice things about Python is that it's cross-platform. So most of the code works Windows, Mac, or Linux, of course. And on my computer right now, I actually have Python 2, but don't tell anybody. It's because my studies require Python 2, so I'm sticking with that for now. And if you can see up here, I'm using something called Genie. It's a really nice programming editor. It's lightweight, it's fast. I don't think it's available on anything other than Linux, but otherwise we're good. Hey there, the Montage MC. How's it going? Can you hear me all right, bud? So like I said, I'm still trying to figure out some of the settings myself, and I think I don't want to hear the volume myself. I got a little echo here, so let me turn off the volume on my end. Hey, you're very, very welcome. Is the sound quality okay? I can't tell from here. Hey, Rame, and forgive my mispronunciations. Okay, yeah, that's we'll have to deal with the delay. I'm not sure quite how to fix that one. So basically, yeah, if I didn't really have anything planned for today, I just thought if anybody had any questions, I can start typing and try and help out a little bit. We had a pretty good session here a few days ago, and then I went away to Hiroshima, Japan. It's a very interesting place, and then I got back last night. So it is Saturday morning here in Tokyo. Audio's kind of low. Okay. Let me turn it up a little bit, see what happens here. I just don't want to get too much background noise. Is that any better, Maximus? And by the way, welcome back, Maximus. Good to see you again. If you're the same Maximus as last time. Shoot! Montage. I'll do what I can. Hey, All-Star. Thanks, Maximus. And Montage, what's your question? Ah, okay. So I used play music in Python, but when I closed the window, and it didn't stop. Okay, so Montage, is that Linux or is that Mac? Actually, it doesn't really matter. So what you need to do is basically, what Montage is talking about is this. So import OS, hi Mina, and then what you can do to play a sound on Linux or Mac, R18K76E, yes, I do remember you, welcome back. So to play a sound on Linux or Mac, you do something. Okay, so Mac, it's very similar to Linux and Mac, and I'll show you what you need to do. So what you do is you os.system, and what you're actually doing is doing a system call. And so on Mac, it's play, and then let's say, so file name.mp3, and that will play the file. Now what this does, it's kind of interesting, is if you play it, if you run this line, your program will come down, it'll play the file, and the whole program stops until this file is done. So what you want to do is you want to add an ampersand. And what that does is it spawns a new thread and it will play the sound in the background. But the problem that Montage is having is that even when you close the window, if you close the terminal window, it still keeps playing in the background. And so basically what's happened is you've created this process and it's you know, kind of doing its own thing, and then you stop the other process, but then this process is still running. And so basically what you got to do, Montage, before you close it, so you need to have a button or you need to have some type of way of controlling your program before you close it. You do this: os.system quote kill all a play. Now if you're on Linux, it's very similar. It's AF play, but on Mac it is a play. So this will basically, what this does is it kills all the different instances of the a play program that you're running, and then what you would do is you would do exit your program. Okay, so basically that should fix your problem, Montage. Because yeah, I've seen this a lot because my students ask me this every year when we get to playing sounds. Again, I don't really know how to do it on Windows. Windows, maybe it's automatic. I'm sorry, I just don't use Windows, but I know this will work on Mac or Linux if you're using AF Play. So good question, Montage. Thanks. So yeah, so feel free to shoot me some questions. If I can answer it, I will. If I can't, I won't. Okay, Montage, how can I bind that to a key? Okay, so like this part here. So for example, what you would do is defined, let's just call it kill sound. You can call it whatever you want. So we'll make a method, and I'm going to tab that over. And then when you do your keyboard bindings, sorry, I know I'm mixing up code here, but just kind of trying to answer the question. So if you have something like win equals, what is it? Like let's say tk enter. Oh, I can't remember what it is. Window or screen, whatever that is. Basically, what you would do, it's wn dot on key or on key press, depending what version. Then your function name is kill sound. So kill sound. Notice I'm not don't put parentheses there. And then whatever key. So let's say you want to use Q to quit your program. That'll bind it to it. I'm missing something. It's like win.listen. There's a couple steps here. I do have a tutorial video on how to bind on GUIs. Let me see if I can find that real quick for you, and I'll put the link up. So if I can figure out what I'm doing wrong here, open a new window, and there we go. So I'm going to go to, so basically I'm just going to go to my YouTube channel, and I have a tutorial on how to do, how can I say, how to make a simple GUI type stuff, and that'll explain basically this entire process. So I'll see if I can find the easiest one for you. Create a playlist, and one sec. There we go. Okay. Now this is written in Python. Just got an ad there. So this is written in Python 2.7. If you want to change it from Python 2.7 to Python 2.3 something, basically the big change is instead of import tk enter, use import tk enter. So this is Python 2.7, and if you're using Python 3, just change Python 3.x. So if you watch that tutorial montage, you'll see that. And yes, the Pong video does work using the turtle. Turtle's a lot easier. The turtle I actually know a little bit better. So to answer your original question, so if you do like this, and then in your turtle you have win equals turtle dot screen parentheses. That's your win, and then on key or on key press, depending which version of Python you're using, and then that'll do it. Okay, so let me go back. I missed a couple things. You're asking if I live in the U.S. The answer is no, but I am American. I live in Tokyo, Japan. And let's see, Pong, yes, use a turtle. And Rema has retracted messages. That's fine. iterators and iterable. To answer that, I do not know the difference. If you ask me, my best answer would be iterators are things that iterate, and iterable is something that can be iterated, but I can't actually tell you for sure. Oh, care and ord. Code, encode it, and decode it. Interesting. Tell you what, let's try that, Max. That sounds like a fun one. So, ord and care. You're welcome, Montage. Good luck with that. Max, let me think about that one for a second. So let's say we have a string. So let's say I'll just do my name, Tokyo Ed Tech. And I actually don't remember what care and ord do, but let's try it. So for, let's see, letter in name, and I'm going to say print ord letter. And if that works, I'll explain it. If it doesn't, then I'll fix it first. Okay. All right, so this is, oh, you're welcome, R18. Yeah, sorry I couldn't give you a better answer. So anyway, for Max, so Max asked about ord and care. So what these do, these are kind of a throwback almost a little bit to, you know, the way, you know, code was stored, or sorry, letters were stored, and there actually still are today. It's just, this is just a bit of a simplified version. So we have something called ASCII. Nowadays we use something called UTF-8 for the most part, but we had ASCII, and basically each letter has a number associated with. So I'll just do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z, or Z for our British and Canadian friends. So I'm going to run that, and what you see here is that lowercase a starts at, I don't think that's, is that right, 97? Let me try capital A, because I know capital A is 65. Gee, so let me just make sure I got the right numbers here. Yeah, okay. Let's do capital A because that's a little bit easier. So capital A starts here at 65. So that the number is 65. This is 66, 67. So each letter has a number associated with it. Okay. So what that number does is, so for example, what we could do, I think this is your question, Max, is we could say, so we say, we'll say ord, I can't use ord, say O equals ord, oh, that's a terrible variable name, sorry. And then, so what we can do then is we can say O plus, plus equals 1. So what we're doing is we're adding 1 to each letter. Okay? So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say print care O. So actually I'll do a little bit better. I'll say print letter and care O. So I'm going to run that and explain that. Or not. Or an expected letter. That should be letter. Okay, so F5. Okay, so you can see what we did here, I hope. So I've got A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And so for letter in name. So what this does, for each letter, so it starts with A, goes around, starts the B, C, D, E, F, G, etc., etc. So I get the value of ord letter, okay, which is 65 for A, 66 for B. I add 1 to it, and then I print the character of that. So I take A, which is 65. So O is 65. I add 1, that's 66. So I print the letter, and then I print character of O of 66, which is B. So that allows me to kind of do like a kind of a very simplified code. And then if I wanted to do it in reverse, I'm just going to copy this back, copy this. So I'm going to call this encoded equals, actually we'll do it this way. So I'll say, so then what I can do is I can say encoded plus equals character O. And we'll say encoded equals, so we don't know what that is, we'll say decoded equals quote quote. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through encoded, and I'll say print encoded, and then down here I'm going to say print decoded. So here, what I want to do is I'm going to say ord equals letter, but this time we're going backwards. So here we added 1, here we subtracted 1. Okay. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to say decoded plus equals O. So what this should do is it should take A, B, C, D, E, F, G, encode it, and then take whatever the encoded one and decode it back. So let's keep our fingers crossed. You know what? Yeah. Okay. String and int objects plus equals care of O. Sorry about that. Okay, if you can give me a minute, I got a call I got to answer. Hang on a second. Hello. Nope, I'm doing a live on live. Okay, sorry about that. So let's run this and see what's going on. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to go. Something came up, but I just wanted to get this working real quick. Okay, so yeah, sorry, R18. I had to go. My wife called. So anyway, you can see we took A, B, C, D, E, F, G. We coded it into B, C, D, E, F, G, and then we uncoded it down to A, B, C, or decoded it back to A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So the key thing here is I've done this. So I've added 1, and I've subtracted 1. Now the big one is, like, I think in Caesar's time they called it ROT13. Now this may or may not work, but yeah, I know, I gotta go. So this is a code used, I think, back in the Roman days or something like that. But yeah, I'm sorry, but yeah, I do gotta go, and I apologize. You know, things happen in life. And hi, Catherine. And yeah, so Ron, you had a pretty good guess there. HD, yeah, I think you're pretty close. And again, so I'm really sorry I got to run. It was unexpected. By the way, R18, I did not take Python in college. Python was not a programming language when I was in college. I was in college a long time ago. So yeah, Python was not a thing then. But I've started learning Python maybe about 5 years ago, and I started teaching it to my students, and I've been very happy with that. So yeah, anyway, so you all have a lovely day. Again, I'm sorry I gotta run, but I'll come back later, and yeah, so take care. Have a good one.